Hello, Canada, sports fans around the world, and welcome into the Rod Pedersen Show. The best of the year continues here as we are in the home stretch towards 2022. It's the Moose, Darren DuPont, in for Rod, who's enjoying his holiday break, and hope you are too, wherever you might be. If you're back at work already or if you're still enjoying time with friends and family, happy holidays and an early Happy New Year. We'll be back with live shows and full viewer interaction and the whole deal coming up on Tuesday. So that will be lots of fun. Looking forward to that. But for now, we're going to take you back down memory lane through what's been a really great 2021. Our team has been hard at work to try and bring you a great show every single day. And that included some shows on the road. That was maybe a theme of 2021 for the Rod Pedersen Show and what we've been up to. We've been hitting the road. And it all started in the summer for real when we took the show to Montreal for the Stanley Cup. And from there, it only grew. We went to Winnipeg for the World Junior Lacrosse Championships. We were in Calgary, visiting with friends there. At the Best Western we stayed. We were in Edmonton at the West Edmonton Mall and at the Edmonton Oilers home opener. Rod's been in Florida. I've been in BC. We've been to Saskatoon and just about anywhere else in between. And I don't know where 2022 is going to go, but hopefully we're going to be able to reach more markets and come and visit you very soon. And that includes Calgary in early January. But all these road shows and all the people we've been able to hang out with has just been awesome. It's been so much fun. And maybe you need to text us where you'd like to see our show go next. 902-518-3033. That's 902-518-3033. And let us know where you'd like to see the RP show on the road next. We're going to be in Calgary. We're going to be in LA during Super Bowl week. What else? Nothing else planned yet. So let us know where you'd like us to broadcast the show from because it's fun hitting the road and getting to connect with all of you. But to these clips, we're going to go back down memory lane. We're going to go back to the pirate ship in Edmonton. We're going to go to Montreal. And that's where actually we're going to go next, to Montreal, where we took the show to the Stanley Cup Finals. This came a little bit out of the blue because I had been looking at going to Vegas. Obviously, all the fits are there. The Vegas Golden Knights, Rod's relationship with the team. And Vegas was playing Montreal in the conference finals. Now, if Vegas was going to go to the Stanley Cup, we were going to go to Vegas. They didn't. And somebody said to me, well, are you going to Montreal? And I never really thought about that. And I thought, why not? So we hooked up with Bob Marrier, sober coach to the Stars. We were treated to a great stay at the Marriott right downtown Montreal, right beside the Bell Center. Hooked up with Knuckles Nyland, Chris Nyland. We watched the game at his place and had a great time in Montreal. So let's go back to Montreal and Quebec, where we started our year on the road.
And we are live from the Chateau Champlain penthouse, 1 block from the Bell Center. It is an off day in the Stanley Cup Final. It's the Rod Pedersen Show on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states. And what's very exciting for us is that we are available all across Quebec on Eastlink, Videotron cable carrier, Rogers. So Game Plus, I see why they wanted to send us out here for the Stanley Cup Final. We appreciate that. Now, a man that really needs no introduction, one of my closest friends, Bob Marrier, sober coach of the Stars. I talk about you, Bob, on the show all the time. You know that, right?
Yes. Often I send a little text, and I'm amazing how fast you can do that. So let me first start by saying bienvenue à Montréal.
Welcome. Thank you. Merci.
Welcome to Montreal. I like how quick it was a decision made, and I was like, hey, Bob, I'm coming in. I was like, great.
It's fast.
It was
like
fast.
Your life.
It was, but I'm not. I'm moving at the snail's pace of Montreal traffic coming today. They've got all the roads closed off because of what's about to go on. Some of it's construction, some of it's not. But as you can tell, last night was a bit of a downer, and there was a pall over it. And let's talk Canada Day in Quebec. It's not Canada's favorite holiday in Quebec, obviously. Last week is La Fête Nationale. It is definitely, for me, a Canada Day. And if we were on the West Island of Montreal, it would feel like Canada Day.
Yeah.
But in downtown Montreal, first of all, because of COVID, the offices are empty. Not a lot of people are
That's
working
what
in
I'm
their office.
saying, but I wasn't expecting that when I got here. I thought you were wide open almost, man.
No, not at all. And I've been living in Florida for all of the pandemic, I think. And then I came back last Saturday, and a very difficult transition. I was in Vegas for some of the games.
Yeah.
And for 2 of those games. And I was, again, amazed at how everything was wide open. everything. Like it doesn't exist, except you go to the airport and all of a sudden it gets the same. That airport gets you back into that little reality. And then I flew from Las Vegas to Florida. At the airport you're fine, and then you just see everyone tearing their masks off, and it's like COVID doesn't exist.
Right.
I've been fully vaccinated for 4 months. But it doesn't matter. In Quebec, it doesn't matter. They don't really care. And like I said, I was pretty surprised to hear that they weren't going to go with 10,000 people in the building.
Right, and you're a little more right-wing than other provinces in this country, correct?
I think now we are, yes,
Yeah.
definitely. This guy has done, I mean, we're going to sit and talk about the pandemic. It's been really hard for all of us. Nobody hasn't gotten away with a free pass. But I think now, in lieu that the Canadians are in the playoffs, and how can you think that having 25,000, I'd say there was 50 or 60,000 people on the street the other night when we clinched against Vegas, and it's going to be worse tomorrow. And
is that right?
You can't put them in. I have it like only in Montreal would they break into a stadium. I would not be surprised if that happened. I'm not telling people to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Okay. So, folks, first of all, I'm just so darn happy that you're here, Bob. I really am, and you know that. I really appreciate you coming down here. I really do. To the recovery community, you need no introduction. But for our viewers, they've heard me talk about you, but can you please just tell folks about yourself, by the way? I was telling a friend last night, you ran this town for a very long time.
I don't know if I ran it, but I went from being a man about town and one that, it's interesting, I did Mitch Melnick's show the other day, who was a TSN radio guy here in Montreal, and he said they used to introduce you as Pete Mary, his brother. My brother's a well-known English radio disc jockey here, has been in radio forever, and then it sort of turned into my recovery got me. I used to be infamous, and now I have notoriety. There's a difference, and for my case, 17 years ago, I came into recovery. My life was spent. I have about 25 years of low-grade depression and a lot of alcoholism and drug addiction in me. And I had a job. There was no low bottom. There was gas in the tank and cash in the bank. So I was convinced if I didn't drink out of a paper bag or I didn't live in a van down by the river, I didn't really have a problem. Well, that came to a crashing halt on January 2nd, 2004, when, I don't get into the dirty details, but I ended up in a hospital in Southern California. And I was laid up for 3 weeks. Like I said, I never go into the details. I find it really kind of like the lurid part's not important.
But you're a recovery coach.
Yes, I am a recovery coach today. So fast forward, I came in. I did not want to go to treatment. I did not want to go to a rehab.
Nobody does.
No, I did not want to do any of that. I had a lot of warning shots that, when normal people that drink normally would have no problem saying, that's a pretty big warning shot. The highway of life is trying to tell you something. And I was like, the blinders were on. It wasn't me. You got the wrong guy. I got a job. Just leave me alone. And ultimately, I ended up in a bad place. And from that bad place, and like literally, I had nothing. I was starting from nowhere. I was a grown man. I was 39 years old. My 39th birthday was in rehab. And I remember thinking, like, who the hell am I? It sounds like an after-school special. It's melodramatic. I was looking in the mirror. I was like, I'm a complete stranger to myself. And then the reality was, I look back on it today, and it was exactly where I was supposed to be. And if you believe in the path, and the path is where it takes you, having sort of being able to embrace it, there was no, how do I say this without sounding, there wasn't a lot of fanfare. There wasn't a lot of like, oh, here he comes, the miracle was, it was like, okay, get busy, get your recovery going. I would tell people, I have a sponsor that was kind of hard on me. I've been sober now for 6 months, and hit the brakes on the car. He looked at me, you've never drawn a sober breath in your life. You don't know anything about this. And I remember thinking, well, I haven't had a drink. So, yes.
But I just want to fast forward to now.
Yes.
So, you...
Okay, well, I'll give you the long, and then fast forward to, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I went back into production. I worked in live production for years. And I came back I started realizing, hey, I like kind of helping people and stuff like that. And I took the same course you took with Earl Hightower. God, that's 11 years ago now. And I was 5 years into my recovery and started from there. And really, again, small, no fanfare. And it moved pretty quickly. I had an acumen for doing this. If there was ever the duck to water thing, that was me when it comes to doing what is not a fun job. You know that. Yeah. It's not fun. You get to walk into somewhere and people need help and no one wants to go. No one says, hey, the interventionist is here. I'll just get in the car and leave quietly through whatever versions. And then again, I get through most of that training, and I start building this business. And in 2014, a case I can openly speak about is I land Rob Ford. And that puts me on a fast track in my business globally, because we all know what that was like in 2014 in the summer. Right now, July 1st was our first day.
Wow.
So it was 7 years ago today, and we were walking through with the longest parade I've ever been on in walking in the same type of hot, sticky, humid weather. And I was wearing, again, I feel tomorrow I will dress down, people. Believe me, I will not look like this tomorrow. It's like casual Friday here, or casual Thursday. But moving forward, I became into this. I started working in a higher stratosphere of what I did. The phone never stopped ringing after I got Rob Ford as a client. So I am a recovery coach, and what that means is I articulate treatment plans, post-acute care, so after you go to treatment. And some of the people come to me beforehand, and we try and get them righted until usually, inevitably, they end up in treatment. And then when they leave, to do that. You're friends with the Governor General of Recovery, as far as I'm concerned, and he should be a national treasure in Saskatchewan, Mr. Ranteed. And again, talk about a lovely human being. I look at him as sort of my true north of how you want to work in this business.
Well, and that's the thing. So that's how Bob and I know each other, and a lot of mutual friends. But I want to swing it around to the love of the Canadian. I mean, you're sitting here talking to these guys about, can you explain how much they love the team in this town? Like, Bob, this run, what's it done for this city?
It is look, I was around for 93, clearly it was a different, I'm a Bob McKenzie, if he's listening today, I still owe him an apology for 1993.
What'd you do?
After we won the cup, there was a bit of rioting going on. We were at a bar, a local watering hole called Grumpy's, and I may have accosted him that night. I may have been yelling in his ear, nobody believed in us, which is the same story. Montreal kind of came through this with a definite chip on their shoulder. Everyone, and I think of local boy Button there, Craig Button.
Oh yeah,
Craig Button,
he's eating a lot of
went to
crow.
high school with me, and he said, "Oh, the Canadians won't even win one game, and this and that." And well, we all know what happened. And I think Montreal's relished this run because nobody took them seriously. And I read the internet, and people say like, "Oh, they had no business being there. The league's a joke." They played within the same rules. I could say the same thing for Tampa Bay and their $18 million over. They played within the rules. The Canadians had 26 games in 48 nights. Never in the NHL history has any team ever entertained the notion of being that busy. So they had a rough ride.
This is in the playoffs?
Pardon me?
They played that many games in the playoffs?
I
did not hear that
this
stat.
year after they got the COVID protocols.
Break, right.
They had to condense their schedule more than any other team that was dealing with this. Some teams that worked to their advantage. Like Dallas, it happened early, so they were able to jig their scheduling, but it didn't happen here. So building that in, I think Montreal sort of went. Everyone was looking at it when they were down 3-1, and people were like, "Oh, what the hell's going to happen?" And good old Galchenyuk came back for Montreal. Gave us a solid. The pass gets cut off by Cole Caulfield. And that was a little, again, I talk about that spark of hope, but started then. And I don't think they looked back. They started playing as a galvanized team. And I think it's safe to say that everyone knows they're playing for Weber and they're playing for Price. They really want, when they have a great mixture. This town goes from kissing your ass to biting your ass. I feel bad for Marc Bergevin, but now they're all kissing his ass, so things are looking up. And no, but it's true because it works like that in Montreal. The passion in this sports. Now, again, I live in America. I live in Florida. I go to a lot of hockey games all over the place. I've been to games everywhere. I have never been to a barn as loud as my barn. I was in Vegas the other night. The show was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guys, it's Vegas, so I was just waiting for them, like, I thought at one point center ice was going to pop off and people were going to fly out of there, maybe monkeys or something.
I thought you and I were going to come to blows in that series.
Yeah.
I'm not joking,
I was
Bob.
I was hitting you hard. Yeah, the best team will win, Rod. The best team will win. Well, what's happened, Rod? Did the best team win? And did the best team win, Rod?
Apparently. I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it.
Well, okay. But the Canadians have relished this role of nobody gives them any respect. So because of that, it's a great story. And they've built on it. And we have this mix of youngsters, the Canadians, everything's scrutinized here. Oh, they've blown draft picks. I will give them that. I mean, sadly, Jonathan Drouin's not playing with the team, and he's taken a mental leave of absence. And I'm not one to talk about any of that. I totally get it. But I heard them bringing that up before the series, and the team, he's still a member of our team. You know, the people understand that. But Sergachev would look damn good in the uniform right now. It would be kind of nice to have him there. And I think that the Canadians have done this with 4 defensemen, really hard-playing defensemen. And again, people looked at those moves when they got Sherratt last year. People, oh yeah, well, he's not going to make that big a difference. Or Edmonton, which has been ridiculous, the amount of time he's logged. So the team was the little engine that could. And now in this province, I tell you that the most religion I have is the Montreal Canadiens. It begins and ends there. And I can't see it any more woven into the fabric of who we are here. It's the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, if you play for the Montreal Alouettes, and Verno's a great dude, and he'll tell you too, but it's a hockey town. And it's been bleak, you know. If you look, there's 24 Stanley Cup banners. There hasn't been much to cheer about in 24 years, or 28 years.
It's been a while. Are you getting warmed up now, Bob?
I'm warmed
Getting
up.
warmed up?
I'm feeling comfortable now.
Good.
By the way, guys, this view of Montreal, if you're going to come to Montreal, I've been here my whole life. I've been in this building before. This view is spectacular. This is ridiculous.
Isn't it something?
Yeah. You couldn't get for better. The sunsets are nice up here. I'm going to come down here later. We'll hold hands and watch the sunset.
I would hope
What do you
so.
think? It's going to be
Promise?
really...
Promise?
We're having a nice night.
Ponce out.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted to write down the crew that we got here. Transmission and Break Glass Productions, James, Ian, Austin, and Xander. Great job, guys. Give yourselves a hand over there because we're going great on Game Plus. The views are amazing. We're in this beautiful conference room, I guess you would say, at the Chateau Champlain. If we've impressed Bob, we've done a great job. So we're going to talk more about the Stanley Cup Final, of course, Game 3 tomorrow night. Trying to get into that barn. Some CFL COVID controls, Florida if you're down, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
Anything,
comes up.
I can talk about anything you
I know
want.
you can.
I'm
So
on a wide variety of stuff.
We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus, the television network across all 10 provinces in 31 states. And I'll say it again, across Quebec, carried on cable networks Videotron, Rogers, and Eastlink. We'll be back with a sports update, viewer takeover, because we'd like to have some interaction with you. That's what we do here. You're watching The Rod Pedersen Show, also YouTube and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
A Landmark Cinemas $30 gift card with $40 in great movie savings is the perfect gift to give. Or give to yourself. Get yours today in theater or online at landmarkcinemas.com and make it a merry movie season. Landmark Cinemas, for movie lovers.
Hey Matt, how's it going? We have something really special. Holy.
It's pretty impressive.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with The Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
I'm not even going to ask Andrew Hustler Patterson about his jewels at all, but I'm going to ask him some hockey questions here. How you doing, Hus? You're looking good, buddy.
What's going on, Rod? Hey, well, you are too. What's up? Did you just pack up and move to South Florida? I've been enjoying your travels. Quite jealous when you did the show at Beaucampers, one of my favorite sports bars south of the border.
Third largest sports bar square footage in all of America. I can't imagine the top two because that place is ginormous. But no, it's been good, Hus. Hey, look, a lot of things I want to get to you with. Let's start with Carey Price, if you don't mind. On the news this morning that he was entering the NHL Players Association Player Assistance Program. He'll be gone for a minimum 30 days. What did you think when you heard it?
Well, I mean, obviously, first off, you're concerned for the human. I mean, it's devastating for the Montreal Canadiens not to have him. But I mean, I think Carey Price is he's a Canadian icon, not just of the Montreal Canadiens, but also a guy that I think every Canadian is counting on to be part of our Olympic team going for gold in Beijing. So when you hear something like this, first and foremost, you're concerned for the person. I do have to say that I think this sort of thing is handled far better now and differently than it was in the past. And I think we're in a good spot. We've heard what Robin Lehner had to say on the weekend. And again, these were different topics, but he's been very outspoken on mental health. And when you think about what's happened to some of the players that have played in the National Hockey League post-career, I think it's very important that we focus on the mental health of these athletes. So I think everyone just hopes that Carey Price gets whatever help that he needs. And hopefully soon hockey fans, both who love the Habs and hate the Habs, will see one of the best goaltenders back in the crease. And most importantly, doing well for him personally and his family.
Hush, you said it well. You're a wordsmith. And Carey Price is an icon. Great wording there. And a great person. It's interesting what you mentioned about the Olympics. If he isn't able to go, and who knows, you would hope that the problems will be behind him by then. I guess it would be Carter Hart's time to shine, because I think he is Canada's future in goal. But right now, it's a big drop-off from Carey Price to Carter Hart. Moving on, ho-hum.
I mean, wait a second. We're giving Carter Hart the number 2 spot on Team Canada? I mean, to be honest, right now, considering the season he had last year, he's going to be lucky to make the team. I mean, you got Marc-Andre Fleury won the Vezina Trophy. Carey Price had a solid season, and he's Carey Price. To me, there's those two guys, and then there's just a bunch of question marks. I mean, who has a lot of confidence in Carter Hart after the season he had last year? I asked Philly fans about that, Rod. And Jordan Binnington? I'm not really that in on Jordan Binnington. And hell, Mackenzie Blackwood, we thought he would be in. Well, he's not even able to go because he's not vaxxed right now. So, listen, the goaltending position already was a little bit of a concern. I think if you looked at Team Canada overall, this news today, again, first things first, we're thinking about the person. But Canada needs Carey Price at the Olympics right now because, I mean, beyond Marc-Andre Fleury and Carey Price, there are massive question marks. And that's the one place where Canada, when you compare them to a number of the other countries in the world, is actually at a deficit. You can't say that about pretty much every other position on the team.
Okay, now I got to go to the big board. Listen, you know hockey's my number one sport, and I was a goaltender, so I think I know what I'm talking about there. I don't even think the Flower was on the Sochi team, was he? It was Price. Mike Smith was the third. Flower hasn't really represented Canada internationally since, I think, the World Juniors in 2003 in a significant fashion, and I'm a Flower fan. I'll make you a bet today, Huss, that Carter Hart starts in the Olympics if Carey Price does not. That's just my thinking.
Okay, I'm in on it. Whatever the wager is, Rod, let's do it. As I said, Fleury versus Hart. Fleury, he won the Vezina Trophy last year. He's going to have... Now, I will make this caveat that if Carter Hart all of a sudden tears it up, he could be on the team and he'll be an option. I think that's the best case scenario for Canada. But my God, he had one of the worst seasons for a starting goaltender in the National Hockey League last year. So there's a lot of work to do before Carter Hart actually earns a spot on the team, never mind jumps the guy that won the Vezina Trophy last year for a spot in net, in my opinion.
Oh, my God. Huss, this is why you and I would... Hey, this is how you and I would be great together. Listen, if Marc-Andre Fleury's not good enough for Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights, he's not good enough for me and Team Canada. And I've also seen Carter Hart at his best. So he had one bad year. So what? Other goalies have had bad years. Carey Price has had bad years in his career. So what? Carter Hart has represented Canada internationally at the World Juniors. I've seen him at his best. His problems are here, not skill-wise. But anyways... we need to move on. And I got to get, did you spend any time this week talking on Winnipeg Sports Talk about Eddie Steele being let go by Edmonton Elks Radio for his comments on this show, critical of Brock Sunderland? Whether you have or you haven't, I want your thoughts now, because he's a Winnipegger and beloved in that town. Eddie Steele, a lot of work media-wise.
Yeah, listen, it's unfortunate. I respect Eddie a lot for what he said yesterday, saying, I stand behind what I said 100%. And hey, Rod, this is one of the things that we're enjoying right now, the freedom of doing things somewhat independently without having anyone kind of rapping your knuckles. Hey, he was working for the team broadcaster, which is essentially being in bed with the team. So when you do make truthful statements, but very critical ones of the organization you're essentially working for, you put yourself in danger. I'll say this, though. I think Eddie's going to end up better for this. I think the attention on what he's doing, what he's been saying, I think he's earned a lot of respect within the Canadian football media. And you know what? He didn't say anything that's wrong. This Edmonton situation is a mess. It starts with the top, and then you saw what Brownlee tweeted afterwards. I mean, could you have any more of a PR nuke in the city of Edmonton that someone was responsible for banning Joey Moss from the locker room? Now, I don't have all the details, but I know Robin Brownlee's a very respected voice in that community. Has been there for a long time. It went from bad to worse for Brock Sunderland yesterday. And maybe if this team was 6-2, the conversations would be different. But they've been embarrassing this year. They've lost twice to Ottawa right now. They're in last place in the West, and they're going in to face a buzzsaw Bomber team on Friday night. So it stinks in Edmonton right now, on the field, off the field. And it's pretty surprising when you think, I'll say this about Sunderland, as much of a mess this organization is right now, he's got a lot of talent on his roster. So, I mean, the question as to why they're here, we can debate. But the bottom line is the PR for the Elks this week and their general manager has been an absolute disaster. And I think Eddie Steele's going to be just fine. I know he's always got a spot on your show and mine as well to talk CFL, and I'm looking forward to what he does next.
He's great. He's an authentic person. He's real. By the way, from what I hear, Brock Sunderland mounting a counterattack on these allegations, specifically with the Joey Moss one. So it ain't over yet, Huss. And let me just lastly say this. So the Bombers got Edmonton on Friday night. Should be a mollywhopping at IG Field. Should we just hand out the Grey Cup to the Blue Bombers now? That's what I'm thinking. I just think they should just get the trophy now. What do you think? They're that much better than everybody else.
They're the class of the league right now. But you know what? That's what everyone in this city was saying 20 years ago in 2001 when they ended up losing to the 8-10 Stampeders in the Grey Cup. It'll be interesting to see how these final 6 games go, because realistically, if they win these next couple games against Edmonton, they could, for all intents and purposes, clinch the West, with 3 games left in the season. So how they handle that, I'm not sure. But they don't handle up the Grey Cup after 8 games. Mike O'Shea knows that more than anyone. It's a very talented team. It's a team that has been getting better throughout the season. And I don't see any signs of letting up, even with what happened with Kenny Lawler this week. But there's still a lot of road left to go for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And next stop is a home date with the Elks on Friday night. In a lot of ways, put a nail in the coffin of a team that a lot of people thought might be contending with Winnipeg for the top of the West this year, not the basement.
Hustler, always great, man. Enjoy your program all the time. Keep it rolling and have a great weekend. Thanks for this.
Right back at you, Rod.
Andrew Hustler Patterson from Winnipeg Sports Talk. You can find them on YouTube daily at 1 p.m. Central. And we have Andrew Walker with us, veteran Canadian talk show host, sportscaster. Walks. You can either look into that camera or you could look at me, but it's nice to have you here on the pirate ship, my man.
Man, I've always wanted to be on this thing. Always.
Right?
Always. As a kid, and then I don't think it was allowed, or maybe there was birthday parties or tours or whatever, and even as an adult, I kind of wanted to. So when you said you were by the ship, I thought maybe you were kind of like overlooking the ship, but you were right on the ship.
Yes. Yeah. And to our viewers, by the way, I appreciate you hanging with us through the break. Patrolman Pete's watching in Winnipeg, and he says, you sound great now. Thank you. Tech Crew, West Edmonton Mall got it. Fix. Mike Horgan in Toronto says, hi there, RP Show, and all the viewers from around the globe. I'm watching on YouTube from Toronto, Ontario. Perfect. Thank you so much. I will get to all your comments here. The Jets fans are very upset. Andrew Walker, I just want to say, very long-time friend of mine, and we met in Red Deer when you were hosting Rebels games, Fan 960 Calgary, Fan 590 Toronto, Sportsnet 650 Vancouver, and now the Rod Pedersen Show. How about that? Hanging your hat in Edmonton, and what more do we need to say? Let's jump right into it. We don't need to have old home week. The NHL last night, it was night 2.
Yeah.
What were your takeaways?
Well, you were at the game. I wasn't at the game, but I did watch it. The Oilers Canucks. It was a fantastic game. I mean,
pretty good game.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it was good. And I'm high on both those teams. Edmonton especially. I think Vancouver could go either way, but I really like Edmonton this year. I think it's their year where they get past the opening round at the very least. The depth shone through a little bit last night. Mike Smith looked like he hasn't lost a step. I know everyone here hated it, but I kind of liked the Duncan Keith pickup. I'm not going to lie.
He was Duncan Keith last night. He was just Duncan Keith in orange.
Yeah, before he got lambasted there by Tyler Myers, I thought he was having a pretty good game. But, I watched, obviously, a lot of that game. Watched a lot of the Habs and the Leafs earlier on. Yeah. But yeah, I'm especially not covering it one team specifically right now, like I've done for the last 15, 20 years. It's really interesting to not have necessarily a vested interest in following the every second going ons with the one team or another. It's really nice to kind of back into being a fan again. Yeah.
Yes, it is. You're realizing how this can be fun again.
Yeah.
By the way, for those that just joined us, we'll come around on this with Walks before he leaves us at the end of hour 1, because there are 2 significant CFL items today, and he's a big CFL fan too. Hamilton's been awarded the 2023 Grey Cup. They're already hosting it this year, but they're getting it in again in 2 years. We'll tell you the reasons why. And Rod Black announcing this morning he's leaving CTV TSN. Sounds like effective immediately. He's the number 1 or 2 or 1A play-by-play guy of the Canadian Football League, not to mention everything else that he's done. Raptors host, Canadian National Figure Skating Championship. So we'll get to that with Walks in a moment. I do want to say hey to the people from Winnipeg this morning. Can we just spend a minute on them? I watched a couple shifts of the game, Walks. You've never worked in Winnipeg. I think I've spent far more time there than you have, just in that city. A 4-1 loss at Anaheim on opening night, although I think Anaheim's going to be better than most. How upset should Jets fans be, despite the fact we didn't watch the game, that their team got throttled on night 1 on the road in another division?
It was a little surprising. I don't think you can freak out. I think Tampa set the tone, right? They got
that wedding.
No one is going to lose worse than Tampa did on night 1, and they're back-to-back Stanley Cup champ. And they looked like a men's league team against Pittsburgh with no Malkin and no Crosby. You can't freak out. I think you travel, you start on the road. You got a young team in Anaheim that it's a bit of a placebo effect. Like Anaheim, they might be sneaky. They're going to be fun. They're not going to make the playoff. And if you're a Jet, you ran into a buzzsaw a little bit, like talking to you after, 20 games.
Right. So having said that, that's my whole thing. It's one game.
Yeah.
But let's just go back to the Oilers for a second, because I was sitting in the press box last night looking at this Oilers roster. Like, there are a lot of new faces here for a team that finished second place in the Pacific Division last year. And granted, we're swept in round 1, but Duncan Keith, you mentioned, Colton Sevier.
Yeah, Hyman.
Zach Hyman. Warren Fogle came over in the Ethan Bear trade. It's like a quarter of the team's been turned over. There was a lot of new faces last night. And do you think that Dave Tippett came out of that game? How happy do you think he was coming out of that game last night? That they got their 2 points, yet they gave up one to a division rival. They blew a 2-0 lead. It's a lot of teaching moments last night for the Edmonton Oilers, I would think.
Yeah, I look at that game, and if I'm Dave Tippett, I like the way they played. Obviously, when they had a 2-0 lead, I thought it was their game, and they had a chance to put Vancouver away, and they didn't. You'd like to do that. You obviously hate all the penalties that they took in a row later on. When you're up 2-0, that's just a recipe to let Vancouver back in the game, and they did. The Ekman-Larsson goal made it 2-1. And the 2-2 goal is not a great goal, obviously, on Mike Smith, but he was unbelievable other than that, so you can't, really point at him too much. I'm happy if I'm, especially getting the 2 points. I'm happy with how the depth looked, I think, if you're Dave Tippett. That's been the big thing. Like, McDavid's going to get 140 points. Leon Draisaitl's going to get 50 goals. The power play is going to be outrageous. Can you get some contributions down in the lineup? And, Zach Hyman obviously did what he does. And I heard you guys talking a little bit about Kyle Turris before. And, that anything he gives you is kind of a bonus. And I thought he played with some jump last night. He got a shift in overtime.
And scored the shootout
winner. Yeah, so there you go.
I often wonder what goes into shot selection, player selection in a shootout. Like, how is Tyler Myers shooting in the shootout before Tanner Pearson even?
Tyler Myers didn't shoot.
Didn't he shoot?
No.
It was a defenseman that shot.
Who are you talking? Well, Tyson Barrie shot for Edmonton.
Maybe it was Tyson Barrie.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at that.
Defenseman. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
By the way, these Winnipeg fans, they're not letting it go, by the way. You know that they smoked sports radio in Winnipeg? You know that? It's gone. It's dead.
I'm aware. Yes.
You're very aware.
Yeah.
So they come here.
That's happened to a lot of places over
They've come here to have coffee and talk.
Yeah.
So I just want to say Patrolman Pete is watching in Winnipeg. And just back to the Jets losing in Anaheim 4-1. He says, so losing game 1 to a mediocre team is not being warmly received. Of course, they lost 4-1 on opening. I get what Jets fans will.
Fans are going to fan, man.
Fans are going to fan. Exactly. Hey, the Leafs game, 2-1 over Montreal. We were not watching it. Moose and I were talking to a football friend of mine in the States and then heading down to the game to try and find somewhere to park around Rogers Place last night. I wasn't watching the Leafs in the half. So how did those teams look in that?
I thought it was the kind of the classic. I hope you bet the under. It was a classic Leafs Habs. Played it pretty tight. Obviously, no Matthews for Toronto. Matthews a little, I don't want to call him soft, but he misses a lot of time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Misses a lot of games.
I'm not a fan, but they love him in Toronto, so.
I tease my Leaf fan buddies about this is because they always defend Matthews, and I'm not a big Matthews guy either. I think he is. I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything like that. I think he's unlikable. People seem to think he's very
I don't like
likable.
him.
I think he's very unlikable.
Yes.
And the best example I say to my Leaf fan buddies, I was like, you always defend him and you want to get in on the Matthews is as good as McDavid, which he's not. But when Matthews goes to Arizona in 4 years when his contract's up, you will never hate another player more than you will hate Austin Matthews when he's in Arizona.
Everybody eventually leaves the Leafs, but that's just Leaf fans. They love their guys. I like that.
He's a great player.
He's a great player.
He's a great player.
He's not Connor McDavid. Not even close.
No. He is in that. I think you can have a real good conversation for who's better, Matthews or Draisaitl. I think that's the conversation. And you can throw probably McKinnon is a little step ahead of him. And you can throw Kucherov in that as well. But yeah, listen, I hate these debates because we got to enjoy.
You opened it.
We got to enjoy Connor McDavid, man. I don't hate the debates. I hate the people that insist on being on the wrong side of it. Connor McDavid is Michael Jordan, man. We got to enjoy it right.
Oh, well, I sure enjoyed it last night, man, watching Connor McDavid. You literally cannot take your eyes off him, and you can't cover him or shadow him all game long, just like you couldn't shadow Wayne back in the day.
Teams tried.
I thought
they
the
couldn't
Canucks.
do it.
I thought the Canucks did a pretty good job on Connor McDavid, and he was still the best player on the ice and had 2 assists.
Winnipeg Jets did a better job last year in the playoffs, but that's another story.
That is true. Well, they got to start calling penalties against it, too.
yeah. Well, that will happen this year.
Even Jets fans know I think they got away with one in that series.
Ryan McCarthy watching in Saratoga, New York says, one more sleep till the Devils finally drop the puck against the Blackhawks. From Jordan Ewart on YouTube, were the Canucks good last night, or are we thinking it'll be typical Oilers this year? The Oilers came back and won. And that is a game, I was talking to an Oilers fan this morning, that they would have lost in the past.
Well, what's typical Oilers? Like, they were a locked-in playoff team.
Disappointing their fans. That's what typical Oilers. You know that as well as I do.
They're pretty good last year. I mean, obviously losing to Winnipeg was that's a big disappointment.
What, like, are you disappointing your fans on a nightly basis, or are you waiting until it really matters in the playoffs? Either way, you're disappointing your fans, and that's typical Oilers, I think, and they weren't last night. The Jets fans continue to chime in. From Dan, the Jets fan on YouTube, we just look disconnected. I think it'll take a few games or less, I hope, to get everyone to connect. They're talking about Blake Wheeler and his contract. By the way, Mark Scheifele didn't play last night. How about that? The last game of his suspension.
Pretty important player. For him blowing up Evans last year, which was a clean hit.
Right?
How about that?
Did you wish you were on the radio when that happened? Or were you still on the radio?
Was I still on the radio when that happened? I was not.
I said it was a clean hit and got it. Like, some people, even hockey people, said some very nasty things to me. My feelings were hurt, Walk. It was a clean hit.
With
4 games.
It's still, I say this a lot, it's still hockey, right?
It's supposed to be.
People are still yelling about fight. Guess what? There's no fighting anymore. It's out of the game. You won. It's still hockey, and once in a while, there's going to be some rough stuff. Once in a while, you're going to get your feelings hurt on the ice. He's trying to finish a play, and not to go back to something that happened last April or March or wherever it was, but people are like, if he would have poke checked, he's not in the league. Like, who does that? It's the playoffs.
Exactly.
He buried him.
The hockey people that I knew,
I thought it was a joke.
Totally thought that Evans was goal sucking was the term that I was used. Should have had his head up. It was a playoff game. So, anyways, the tail end of it last night continued.
But you're right. I forgot about the
that's why Scheifele.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't play. From James in Borden, Manitoba says, if the Oilers are waiting for power plays in the playoffs to win, they're going to be disappointed every year. That's possible. But the power play last night for the Edmonton Oilers, I was like, oh my God, on the Hyman goal.
Yeah, they're going to be a 25-30% team again on the power play.
Check the time. Andrew Walker with us here on a pirate ship at West Edmonton Mall. Then it never gets old.
I wasn't joking when I said I'm incredibly happy to be on this pirate ship.
Me too.
I feel like you spent some time in Tampa, right? They got the big ship with the
in the end zone
touchdown, yeah.
People that looked at my Facebook yesterday literally thought I was on the pirate ship at Raymond James Stadium. I'm like, no, wrong pirate ship.
Right.
But life's about goal setting. I think we should go to Tampa and do the show there. By the way, we will get to that CFL news coming up in a few segments, but I want to talk about tonight's games in the National Hockey League because there are more. There are 9. And the games that I've circled that I'm excited about is Florida Panthers home to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Who expected Pittsburgh to go in and do what they did to Tampa? Are they going to do it to Florida tonight? I don't know. Panthers came out of the preseason healthy, fortunately. Not every team can say that. That's one game I'll be watching. Vegas Golden Knights at the LA Kings tonight I'm watching. Leafs go into Ottawa, and Montreal goes into Buffalo. 9 games tonight. Are there any on the slate that particularly have you interested tonight?
I'd have to see the rest of the list. I think LA is going to be fun this year. Does Columbus play tonight?
Yes, they do. They have the Arizona Coyotes.
So
that historic rivalry will rekindle at Nationwide Arena tonight.
That's right. Well, I'm interested in also because I put a little money on him to win the Calder Trophy at excellent odds.
But you like the sports betting, don't you?
I do, yeah. Regina native Cole Sillinger is going to make his NHL debut.
How about that?
And man, you've had him in studio. You know that, but guys have been telling me about Cole Sillinger for years. Like, this guy was basically pro ready at 16.
12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe he slipped that late in the draft. And it's funny, him making Columbus as an 18-year-old, it surprised me 0%. And I'm sure you're in the same category.
I knew he was good enough, but he's 18. Like, as we're sitting here today, he sat, I'll say, in that chair this summer and said, I'm going to Columbus to make the Blue Jackets. I'm like, Cole,
he's a
come
man.
on.
He's a man. He's been a man for...
His neck is the size of a tree stump. So physically, yeah.
So, I'm all in on Cole Sillinger. So I'll be trying to watch a little bit of his debut. When I was pulling up, I was listening to the local radio here. And right when I stepped out, they had said that there was a reporter, Brady Tkachuk, signing his new deal. So is that verified? Is that true?
I have not heard that he signed. I haven't seen any notification. Oh, it is? Producer Clark telling us, yes, Brady Tkachuk has signed. How about that?
That's huge.
On the day
That's
of the
huge.
opening, did we think that it was going to not get done?
Well, there was, it was obviously going to get done at some point. But the fact that you have a young, exciting team and everyone's, fans back in the stands and you're excited, you got whatever Ottawa has $20 to $25 million in cap space, and you don't have your franchise player signed, like, find a way to get it done. Like, don't, and Ottawa can get in their own way sometimes.
Yeah.
But they did, and so that's fantastic.
Just a couple comments from our viewers. Ryan in New York says, the records don't matter when the Blue Jackets and Coyotes get together. Oh, by the way, Oliver Ekman-Larsson was very good last night, and Connor Garland. That was a fleecing, that trade by Jim Benning, I believe, with the Arizona Coyotes. Kelly McDonald says, what about the hit in the Colorado game on the Blackhawk? And the ref's right there, no call.
Oh, it was Landeskog on Kirby Dach.
I didn't see it. I did not see it. How did I miss that on SportsCenter? What do you think about it? I didn't see it.
I have to see it again. Dach's kind of sliding on one knee, so he's in a vulnerable position, and Landeskog finishes him. Maybe a little bit from behind, maybe just a little bit more predatory. I don't know. I'm honestly, people always get mad at me. I'm the wrong guy to talk about this because people want to slow everything down and, super slow motion and how many games should this be? And the game is so fast, and you decide to make a hit, and sometimes the hit's going to be a little dangerous.
Back to the Scheifele thing. He laid off.
Back to the Scheifele thing.
Yeah, he laid off at the top of the circles. Jenna Reagan, watching in Southern California, says, let's go, Buffalo. How bad did they get spanked by the Montreal Canadiens tonight? That's what I'll be watching for. Troy Culmer says, how about Jack Campbell last night?
Really good. Really good.
Solid performance in making the goalie story interesting for the Leafs. So we got the Leafs fans chiming in today. All kinds of topics on the table as far as the National Hockey League. But I think we will shift over to CFL when we come back in a sports update too. I want you to think about what your favorite store in West Edmonton Mall. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about your best West Ed memory. We're still here. And the poll question, by the way, today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, who's cooler, Pirates or Cowboys? And on Twitter, 52% of you saying Cowboys are cooler than Pirates. On Facebook, it's 50-50. So vote on that, and we'll be right back to the Pirate Ship at West Edmonton Mall right after this. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
It's been a day or two since we've seen this guy face to face. Babs, listen, I'll do it right now. How you doing, Great to see you, man. Yeah, good to see you. It's been a day or two, Babs. Hey, it's opening night. How you feeling?
Well, great. Obviously, opening night's always an exciting time. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Yes.
And we've had 10 exhibition games, lots of times to get ready. I mean, the kids missed hockey for 2 years here. Now they're pumped. They want to play, and we should have a good crowd here tonight. We obviously have a beautiful building, as you can see, and it's great to share with people.
Steve Cook was just in here, and he said that you told him that these are NHL caliber facilities. I haven't seen them. I got to get a tour here. What do you got going on?
Well, for sure. Underneath, the building's spectacular here. They built it right because they didn't build it too big for college hockey. But underneath, we have NHL facilities, and I'm not kidding you, we're better than some NHL teams. So between our video theater, our lounge, our dressing room, our areas for trainers, then we have the full medical center right here, the physios. We have the weight room at the far end. You don't get it better than that in college hockey. You just don't.
Better than Joe Louis Arena?
Hard to believe that, eh? you know, obviously now Detroit has a new facility, right. And so it would be the same. But any of those older buildings, even though they've been upgraded, they're still not the same as this. This is spectacular.
All right. Well, I can't wait to have a look around. I can't wait to go to the hockey games. And I got to ask you this. Are you having fun? That's my number one question.
You know, it's been a ride. Number one is my son's working with me. He's taking his MBA and on our staff. So that's exciting anytime you get to work with family. And then, you know, I'm at one sister's house, then I'm at another sister's house, and then there's my sister's grandkids are around, and I got buddies here in town. My wife's family's in Lloyd. So that's an experience we haven't had in forever. I mean, we'd come home in the summer to the lake, but not like this. So that's been fun.
I caught myself right off the start of the show saying, Mike Babcock makes his Canada West debut. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No.
A couple years ago.
It's been in a while. How long are we at Lethbridge?
8 months.
Oh, that's it, eh?
Yeah, no, I was there 8 months. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I love hunting and fishing, and the Crow's Nest Pass is spectacular.
Good place for you.
You betcha. And then obviously we had a real good team. We had a great run that year. It's unfortunate the Leopards are no longer in the league. Had a great run. And any time you have success, those guys are with you forever. And so your contact with those people over the years has been spectacular.
Well, just take me through this for a second, because there's those iconic photos of you in the McGill uniform with your shocking blonde hair. Right? And they talk about you as a U of S student. What was your university resume as a player?
Okay, so I was a 17-year-old. I played split with the Saskatoon Jays and the Blades. And as an 18-year-old...
That was the junior A.
You betcha. Junior A and the Blades. And so as a 17-year-old, I did that. And then as an 18-year-old at fall camp, I don't know why I did this. I came to play for the U of S. That made no sense. Probably wasn't smart, but I came and did that. Kinger said, Babs, you better go back and play hockey. So I went back and I picked up my rights, played in the Western Hockey League, and then went to McGill. And, no different than these guys is McGill deserves a lot of credit for the foundation. You're a student athlete. They build a foundation for you to confidence so you can get on with the rest of your life. 5 of my best friends in the world, so the 6 of us have been hanging out together for 40 years, and now the wife's probably 35, so a while. And obviously we've been together a long time. It's a lot of fun, and that's what happens right here at the U of S.
Of course. Did you graduate from McGill then?
I did.
You did? Okay, cool. So here's a made in Canada story that I was telling somebody last night. I'm in a Lululemon across Iron Mills Mall in Calgary yesterday, and the guy behind the counter was talking about my show, and I said, I'm going to have Mike Babcock on tomorrow. The girl working behind him goes, Mike Babcock is a wonderful human being. And I said, well, I think so, but what makes you say that? She goes, my uncle's TD Forrest. He was in Spokane, blah, blah, blah. Like those Spokane friendships go back a real long way.
Well, you just think about it. So I started at Red Deer College. Rob Cookson was on my staff. He coached in Ottawa for the Senators. Annie Nowicki was on my staff. He was the goaltending coach for the LA Kings. Ray Bennett was on my staff. He's with Colorado Avalanche. When you go through it in Spokane, Tim Speltz, the general manager, is the GM for the American League team for Vegas. TD Force has been all over. He's been with the Eskimos, he's been with the Calgary Flames, he's now with the Edmonton Oilers. So those connections you have in your career are spectacular. And obviously, TD Force is one of my best friends in the world and fun guy to be around.
Well, he's a very popular uncle with this young gal anyway, so she said to say hi. Babs, talk to me about the university athlete. Have they changed since you were one?
Oh, I think probably everything, I kind of look at it every 10 years, there's got to be a huge step. I mean, you just keep getting better and better and things faster and faster. And saying all that, though, they're saying a lot of ways. They're student athletes first, without any question. They come, and what I find is they compartmentalize their time. They live in the present. So when they're at school, they're all in. But when they come here, we get them in the weight room, they're all in there. They're all in on the ice. They want to get better. When they go home to their families or whatever they're doing, they're all in there. They're exceptional people. And they're trying to find their passion. It was hockey. They were going to play in the National Hockey League. Doesn't look like they're going to do that now. They're trying to find the next thing. And, the difference between good and great is passion. Because when you find your passion, you can work harder and longer than the next guy at it. And so that's what they're doing now.
So when you're going around that room and looking in those eyes, is it the same look as NHL players?
Well, we'll be at game time for sure. And yet in saying that, it's interesting. You have a meeting with a guy in the NHL, it's 10 minutes max, when you're talking about their life or whatever. Here, it can be 30 minutes.
Or longer.
It's just, that's just the way it is. What I would say to you, though, is great young men and want to make a difference, are trying to find their way, and still love the game of hockey and are giving a lot to the school.
Probably would be naive of me to think that you just walked in onto the bench and coached. What was your role in? I would think it'd be more than that in terms of recruiting and stuff. Yeah. Leading up to this, what was from the day you were hired to now? What have you been doing?
Well, I think when they let me know I was doing it right away, I got on it, and so probably started in February. And you're doing everything you can, from phoning to texting to zooming with the guys and trying to get them to come here. Now, no different than any Canada West team. 7 or 8 of the highest profile guys that I recruited are in the American Hockey. Are they going to end up here one day? They might. But the guys we were able to recruit and bring in are good players. And Dave Adolph did an unbelievable job here for a long period of time. 27 years he was here. And it's very competitive in Canada West, and you got to get good players. You can coach all you want. You need athletes to coach. And so we were fortunate that way. We worked hard at it. Brandon Cote, myself, worked hard at it to try to get the guys to come. We were disappointed. Sometimes we get the call the guy had signed in the American Hockey League, but that's what it's all about. They want to play pro. take your opportunity when you get it.
What's your split of WHL versus Junior A guys? Roughly, I'm not going to.
I think we got 3 from Junior A, and the rest are all from the Western Hockey League. And the guys who played in Junior A, Ball was a 100-point guy. Brooke was a 100-point guy. They're dominant players. We got good guys. We had 90-point guys that were captains of the Western Hockey League team. And I think we got 12 captains of the Western Hockey League team. You got a good hockey team here for sure. The skill guy who was going to go in the first round is playing in the National Hockey League. We don't have those guys, obviously.
Yeah. Well, hang on. I can't wait to watch this. Chance is here?
He is.
Did you coach his dad?
I did. No,
How about that?
It was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I talked to his mom. His mom was spectacular. She probably wouldn't want me saying this, but she said, my boy's a good boy. You make sure you hug him. He's better if you hug him than if you yell at him. So anyway, obviously his dad played for me, I think when he was 16 or 17. I had a great conversation with his dad. They've got to know a lot of the parents here as they come to games and that, and they follow their kids around. And it's amazing as a hockey parent, and I know I did the same thing with my kids, it's spectacular to watch him play. I was at a football game with my brother-in-law the other day. I had to move over. His kid was playing. He's so anxious and so uptight. You're trying so hard for your kid. But that's what love's all about right there.
Of course. Chance was the talk of the yesterday. Hair that he went on, and he could have played in the Western Hockey League. And his uncle's Curtis Hunt. Wow. Must be nice to be back and get those connections again.
Well, what's so amazing is everywhere I go is so many people. And right away when you see them, you're thinking, okay, I know who this is, but what's their name? It's been a long time.
Because they all know you. Yeah.
Exactly. I play alumni hockey with the guys here on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock, and that's spectacular too. These guys have been involved in this program a long time. They love the program. Financially, they're giving back to the program, and their sweat and that to make it happen is so important for the program to have success. They've done a great job of that.
What do you know about your opponents, the U of R Cougars? Did you play them as much as the women's teams have played? Do you know what you're playing tonight?
Yeah, we know who we're playing. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I know Todd Johnson. I've known him for a long time, coached him. And so the coach I know well. I don't know the team as well. I'm going to get to know the team better as the year goes on. We played them in exhibition. I don't think exhibition's ever a measure just because you're trying out guys, you're trying out lineups, so it's not the same kind of thing, but it's a positive thing.
Do you mind if I get to some viewer questions here before I let you go?
Whatever you got here.
One from me or a media question was how you enjoyed the NHL and NBC thing. You looked right at home on the panel. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. When I was there, I really enjoyed it. Getting there sometimes, you're in New York, you come from Palm Springs, you come from wherever you're coming from. That's not the same thing, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the guys I worked with, Jonesy and Sharpie and the guys there. I thought that was really good. Enjoyed that part. Is it something I see myself doing? Not really.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I just I got a pretty full life, to be honest with you. Since I've been fired in the National Hockey League, my wife and I have had a great time. And we're fortunate we can do what we want to do, and we've done that, and we've enjoyed our family a lot, so it's been fun.
It's funny you say that because Wayne in Victoria, BC is watching. He says, does Mike find the stress a little less in university hockey compared to the NHL?
You know what? Stress is an interesting thing. People talk to me about it all the time. I like duress. And what I mean by that is a little duress gets you up in the morning, gets you going. In the end, the pressure, the stress is what you put on yourself. Once you're established in the league and you know you're going to work and you can pay your bills, it's what you do. It's just your job. It's what you do, and you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, I should ask you this about that NHL and NBC thing, because you did look very at home. You were talking hockey and you've been in front of a camera enough, but what surprised you about that job? Working in the media?
Well, I guess what I would say to you is when you're in hockey every day and you're breaking it down and you're detailed in it, you don't have the time to share that with the fan. They don't really want you to do that.
Right.
So it's a cover. It's not in depth. I like the in-depth stuff. I'd like to teach the fan what's going on in the game, even though they think they know, they're not really in it. And so that's the part that if I was doing that, I'd want to do.
Do you see a huge difference between U.S. hockey fans and Canadian hockey?
Well, it depends where you are. I mean, Detroit, Michigan, or Minnesota, I mean, it's just little parts of Canada, to be honest with you. That's how passionate they are. different areas are passionate about different sports, and the ones they know the best are the most passionate about. Obviously, you go to Toronto, you go to Montreal, there's hockey fans. You go to Edmonton, you go to Calgary, there's huge hockey fans. Vancouver, they support their team. They know everything about it. That's what the media's covered. In the U.S., that team might be third on the media docket.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Diaco in Saskatoon says, welcome back to Saskatoon, Mike. What has surprised you the most coming back to the university level?
Well, I mean, just coming back to Saskatoon right away, you realize what a great city is, unbelievable people. Well, when you come to the U of S, you just see how passionate the people are about the U of S. When you see the alumni, when you see the players, they're proud to be a part of it. When you see this rink, you're proud to be a part of it. I think it's been special. And like I said to you before, when you have the opportunity to work with your son, my son's 26 years old. He's already graduated from university. He's played pro overseas. He's done his thing. He's trying to figure out where to go. That's fun because he's an adult. He gets a say. I think that's impressive.
From Alex Dick, he says, anytime you get Babcock on, I'm tuning in and probably rewatching once or twice. That's from Alex from the Puck and Pigskin podcast in Calgary. They say, I heard on the radio yesterday that the new arena in Detroit is the best in the league. I haven't seen it. Is it?
Well, it's good. I mean, obviously, the Illich family there, they've done an unbelievable job. You know, and Stevie's gone there after Kenny Holland, who did an unreal job for all those years. Now Stevie, they're going to build their product out so it'll match their arena, but they got a spectacular facility.
Kevin says, Mike, how many games or weeks does it truly take to recognize chemistry amongst players that you may see as the season goes on? It's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, too, is I would say, you know, I always thought in the NHL 10, but you don't have that time, 10 games. You know, you have an 8-game exhibition schedule where you play the guys half the time. Then 10 games in, you kind of got things figured out. Here, we got to do it quicker because we have less games. In saying that, like I said to you earlier, exhibition doesn't tell me the same thing tonight will tell me.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, here's my last one for you. I've been dying to ask you this. That 2017 East Final, Saskatchewan Roughriders at Toronto, Oregon. You were there. Place was sold out. It was big news that you were there. If you remember, it went down to the last play of the game for us to go to the Grey Cup. Was it like dumb question to say, will the CFL survive in Toronto? Because you may or may not care. But that was a great take.
Oh, I care. I mean, when I grew up, Saskatchewan Roughriders are a big deal. When we were at the lake at Emma Lake, when we didn't have TV, my kids were over at the neighbors watching the Riders games. The best time to be on the lake at Emma Lake is when a Riders game going on. There's no one out there. They're watching the Riders. So that's how much excitement it is. So it's a great, obviously, football spectacular. We need a pro league in Canada. The CFL is a lot of fun to be around. When you get a chance to go, it's special. When the guys brought in the Grey Cup to my office just to show it off to me there, that was fun too.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a wonderful thing. Mike, as always, thanks for all you do for us. When you were on the last time with us, I didn't realize it was the first interview since you'd left on us. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah. All you've done for us. Good luck with the Huskies.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Hey, Dawn.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
You saw, Darren, obviously the news release from the Western Hockey League over the weekend that they, after consultations with the Prince Albert Raiders, have decided to effective immediately retire the brand, the jersey, and the logo of the Prince Albert Raiders' third jersey. I didn't even know this was a thing anymore. Didn't they retire like twice before? And listen, you're looking at alum right here from the Prince Albert Raiders. And my dad won a Memorial Cup with the Prince Albert Raiders. That's the jersey right there, which we used to lovingly refer to the guy on the chest as the Sheik. We talked about it, the Sheik jerseys. I looked up the definition of a sheik on the internet. It says the head of an Arab tribe. I suppose there might be some Arab folks that find this offensive, and that's probably why they came to this conclusion. I will speak on behalf of the Prince Albert Raiders, and I know that they will allow me to do that. As alum, there was never any hint, and I'm talking about going back into the 70s when this jersey started, or early 80s, of any insensitivity or offensive. That was not their intentions, but nor was the Moose Jaw Warriors logo. They had to change that. It's somewhat unfortunate, but we are in different times now. I guess the whole point is, it's, what do they call it? Unintended racism is what they call it. I learned that in my Recovery Coach Academy. So I guess you got to change it, but there was no intent. Over to you.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I don't think that teams and executives in these leagues and these teams are intentionally trying to offend people or be racist. I think that goes without saying. It's confusing the way this all went down because they unveiled it on Friday, and then by Saturday or Sunday it was taken down and deemed offensive, and the league stepped in and they shut the whole thing down. But they were allowed to go ahead with it on Friday, which means they were okay with it. The league was likely okay with it. And then you get the negative feedback. But they've used it before, right? They've used it before. It's been on merchandise. It's been on other things. And we've kind of talked about it. It's kind of come up a little bit in conversation like, wait till somebody, is offended by this logo. So it's a little weird that it was, it was allowed to go ahead. They were okay with it. The league was okay with it on Friday when it was unveiled. And then the reaction came, and then they decided to take it down. But you know what? That's okay, too. Because it's okay to put something out there with the best of intentions and with the intention of stirring up history and great memories of other teams in the past and try and get some New Jersey sales and all the rest, and then get some bad reaction and realize, oh, I guess more people aren't as okay with this as we thought. Okay, we'll take it down. Like, that's okay too. You know, it's okay that maybe we made a mistake, or that, you know what, we still think it's okay. We weren't trying to be offensive, but if this many people are upset, we'll take it down. Like, that's fine. But man, I mean, we put it on Facebook, which I don't know if you can access because Facebook's down, and the hundreds of comments that we got,
listen,
people are upset.
There's a lot of comments coming in from our viewers right now.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
I started the Shatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I am proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445 or log on to deervalleygolf.ca.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG. Always delivering the best fan experience.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Now I'm going to have to stay up late to watch that game, 8:20 kickoff Eastern. Would you be surprised to know that they play the Golden Girls on a loop down here on cable television? On a loop.
I would not be surprised.
They say it's God's waiting room. No, I get it. 8:20? What?
Yeah, I know.
Might be able to hang around for the first half. Maybe. But anyways, it's Tampa Bay at New England, and I know that you got a lot of thoughts on this, and I know that we don't have a lot of time here in this segment, so we'll carry it over into the next one. But what do you think the BetRegal.net line is for the game, Buccaneers at Patriots on Sunday night in prime time?
I haven't looked yet.
I know. I know you wouldn't have. You're busy.
The Bucs are favored, and I'd give them 6.5.
7.
Whoa. On the nose, 7? Wow.
7-point favorites, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there's going to be a lot of, I don't know, you saw this morning, I assume that the Buccaneers signed Richard Sherman, the free agent corner. I would be shocked if he played Sunday night. I mean, the news just broke this morning, breaking news. If I had the bell, I would ring it. But Richard Sherman signing at 33 years of age, dropped the news on his podcast. But regardless of all of that, you see that, I don't know if it was Bucs fans or whatever, they're trolling Bill Belichick. They've put up billboards around the stadium trolling Bill Belichick with Tom Brady coming in there. This morning, did you see Mike Greenberg say this is the biggest regular season game in NFL history? Did you see that?
I did.
What, do you buy that?
Yes. In terms of hype, in terms of meaning, in terms of fan interest. I mean, a battle for first place, what does that mean? A battle for a playoff spot, I mean, that matters. I mean, when you look at regular season, you get into week 17 and you start thinking, man, these games, you win and you're in. For me personally, I mean, there's been Tennessee games down the stretch late in the season where the playoffs are literally on the line. That's bigger for me than this game is for me personally. But in terms of the bad blood and storylines for a week 4 game, I can't imagine there's been a week 4 game that's ever matched what the anticipation that we have here ahead of Sunday night. I don't think there's one that matches. I can't think of one.
No, I know that you want to talk a little bit more about the Brady-Belichick relationship, as do I. So we'll talk about that coming back in the next segment. And we're only 4 topics through the Quick 6 show topics here in the warm-up for E-Code Electric. So we're just getting rolling. Moose wanted to get into this. Belichick-Brady, Sunday night. And it was once a great relationship that now seems to be getting worse by the day. What's your take on this situation?
I tweeted it this morning, and I'm glad you brought it up. But this is relationships, right? This is human nature. This is a lot of that and textbook stuff, right? When you've got one person who's growing and moving forward and doing new things and trying to, and somebody else who's not, who's comfortable, who wants to stay where they are. That's 2 people that are vibrating on different frequencies, and they're never going to understand each other. Because when you're Bill, you only understand Bill. You stay here, you do everything here, day after day after day. It's the same day in, day out, year in, year out, until you die. And you got Tom being like, but I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Tampa. I want to, win with a new team. I want to do all these new things. I want to have a little bit better relationship. I don't want to play in the cold anymore. I, want to build my TB12 brand, and I want to have a clothing company, and I want to incorporate this more into the football team that I play in, and I want to have my friends come and play, and I want to do all these different things. And he doesn't have the support in New England. That's what I see from the outside. When you don't have that support, you have to do what makes you happy. Tom's doing what Tom needs to do to be happy and continue to play. And he's probably going to play till he's 50 because he can, and he's kicking everybody's butt. And why wouldn't you if you are playing that well? They're saying he's throwing the ball better than he did when he was 24. But you're never going to be on the same page. And so when you're not on the same page, it's time for a split. And when you split, well, what's the hardest thing to do? Look in the mirror, right? And Bill, we gave him a contract offer. It's not our fault he left. Guess he didn't want us. It's his fault. Bill also said we also learned that Bill declined to meet with Tom Brady after it was decided. We just learned that. He thought he was done. He thought it was over. There was no point in meeting. So you've got Bill who's kind of like, look, if you're going to leave, then leave. And you got Tom being like, hey, look, I appreciate my time there, but I need to go to Tampa, and he's winning in Tampa, and now he's coming back, and maybe they didn't appreciate him enough, and he wants to come in and make a statement. It's wildly juicy.
Yeah, but history repeats itself. And there's more to this than what you're saying, and you know what it is. It's people. Somebody wrote in here earlier, and if Clark can find it, he can put it up. If the Buccaneers rout the Patriots Sunday night, it proves that Brady's responsible for those Super Bowls, not Bill Belichick. And the correct answer is that they did it together. But near the end, Tom Brady became too big for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. You're seeing all this stuff come out about how Belichick treated Tom like a child. And Tom got tired of it because Tom deserved better. And the rest of the NFL, particularly Aaron Rodgers, are looking at what Tom Brady's doing in Tampa Bay, and they're all going, I want that. I want what he's got. You know that's a fact.
Yeah.
And Tom's just relishing in his role in all of this. And underneath, I think he's seething, and he wants to go in and kick the Belichick's ass and the Patriots' ass. But do you not think Bill Belichick, he firmly believes that they made Tom Brady, that Tom was not responsible for those 6 Super Bowl wins? You know that's a fact.
But they kind of did. I mean, Tom was a 6th-round draft pick. He was nothing special coming out of Michigan.
They did it together.
But you're right. They did it together. And whether, it's chicken and egg stuff, right? It's really chicken and egg stuff. Did Belichick foster this work ethic and this dedication to the craft that Tom has really defined his career with, right? Was that probably nurtured a little bit by Bill? And they probably did this together, right? But Bill didn't grow into these other areas of the branding side and everything else that Tom's grown into. They've grown apart. They've grown differently. But you're right. They did it together. This was a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But on the Aaron Rodgers, these other quarterbacks, not even quarterbacks, stars, when you have that kind of star power and you're responsible for the success in any industry, you want to start to have some of that added benefit that goes along with it. But you need self-awareness. Aaron Rodgers, he deserves it. He should have some say. He's there with Brady. Jimmy Garoppolo? Probably not, right? You have to be self-aware about, are you actually at that level to demand what Tom Brady's been able to get?
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital Ford Lincoln.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Brady has written in on the text line at 902-518-3033. Says, hey, Rod, I'm doing a leadership discussion presentation on the proposed plan for a new arena in Saskatoon and was just wondering if you two believe the city of Saskatoon needs a new arena. And I want to bring this up while it seems like a local discussion, for the people across the country and our U.S. viewers that don't understand it, of which I'm getting messages that there are a ton of American viewers tuning in today, which, by the way, I was stopped in the Toronto airport yesterday and somebody came up to me and said, I understand you have over half your viewers are American. Why? I said, I have no idea. But anyways, Saskatoon built an NHL caliber arena in the late 80s that seats 15,000 fans. But they never got their NHL team, very similar to Quebec City, which theirs is a jaw-dropping arena right now, the Videotron Arena, just sitting there waiting for an NHL team that may or may not ever come. Now, my political friends in Saskatchewan, government mucky mucks, are saying, Rod, you need to get behind the new Saskatoon Arena proposal. And I'm like, okay, sure, absolutely. So I will say to Brady, yeah, Saskatoon needs a new arena. And I get it. 30 plus years for SaskTel Center is a long time. That's ancient in today's arena standards. But my core beliefs, as you know, are often what you want and what you need are two different things. So I guess my question to you is, does Saskatoon need a new arena? They're hosting you just said it, a major national event in the Tim Hortons curling trials, and they'll do a great job with what they have. If they were to build this new 15,000 seat plus arena, is it, let's be honest, with the eye on an NHL franchise down the line?
I don't think so. I don't know that this market could sustain an NHL franchise. American Hockey League, maybe. But even, major junior in the market doesn't need a 15,000 seat arena. The American Hockey League doesn't need a 15,000 seat arena. They need 5,000 seats, right? 7,000 seats, something like that. But this is more of, and you look at the Rush and the Lacrosse, where they've been able to sell out the SaskTel Center and have very big crowds. So they would use it. But from a sports landscape, there's not a need for a new arena. But from an entertainment and venue landscape, that's the biggest for me because, and this is why the discussion's happening now and maybe a couple of years late because they're less than 10 years away from needing a new arena, I believe. And it's about a 10-year project to put together, from getting financing and getting things built and the site and all that kind of stuff and the red tape. But Saskatoon has become a destination city in this country and maybe in North America. It's now one of the culture and food hot spots in the country when it comes to, great restaurants and great places to eat, the river views and the travel now. It's a tourist destination. So it's become a hot spot. And it's a really big spot for events and concerts. And, the biggest names on the planet will make Saskatoon a destination on their Canadian tours. it's up there as part of a travel destination with Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Montreal, etc. Saskatoon's on that page. And every time big names come through, they're sold out. Garth Brooks did multiple shows here because they kept selling out. But if that venue keeps going down, those names will stop coming, and that'll be a big hurt for the city. So even if you're not a sports fan, this new venue is big for the city, because that then affects the whole downtown core and all the culture and the hotel business and everything else that keeps Saskatoon beautiful and vibrant and growing. So, I'm a big fan of the new facility. And I really was always been a big fan of the downtown location, that Toys R Us parking lot, right beside the mall, right off the river. That was always my number one destination, but they need it, and I hope it happens.
Wonderful answer. Like I say, if you build one, what's the end game? And I think you just answered it very well.
Yeah.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445 or log on to deervalleygolf.ca.
I started the Chatler Lacrosse Academy 3 years ago, and my main goal for the province of Saskatchewan was to spread the game and the awareness of lacrosse. Jeff Shatler here, number 77 with the Saskatchewan Rush. I currently play forward, 16 years pro. I live, work, and play in the province of Saskatchewan. Direct West's mission is to grow Saskatchewan economy by helping small local businesses win with digital advertising services, but they are also a major supporter of local sport, art, and charitable organizations. Year after year, Direct West continues to put their money where their mouth is, and ensuring the minor sports and art and music festivals can continue to thrive in our province. They continue to do all they can to promote our communities and assist nonprofit charitable organizations in the effort to improve the quality of life in the province of Saskatchewan. I am proud to work with Direct West and call the province of Saskatchewan my home.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Boy, oh boy, as fate would have it, I'd like to call it a God shot. Ben Hebert joins us, one half of the Benny and Bo Show, Olympic champion curler from Team Cooey. How are you doing, Ben?
Good, Roddy. Thanks for having me, buddy. Yeah, welcome to Cowtown. Good to see you.
It's beautiful. I forgot how beautiful it is. This is home for you now, isn't it?
Yeah, buddy. I've been here since like 06. I was thinking even this morning, I was saying, man, I've been here a long time, because I knew you're going to give me a hard time about cheering for the Stamps or the Riders or who I'm cheering for. But
hey, I get it.
Yeah, I've been here for a while, and made some good friends here, and yeah, I love it here. It's pretty much home now.
Well, okay, so one of those friends is number 19 for the Calgary Stampede, Bo Levi Mitchell. Maybe before we go any further, explain your relationship with him, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, so me and Bo have a mutual sponsor, ATB Financial. Been with my curling team for 6 years, and they'd sponsored Bo and done a bunch of stuff with Jordan Everly, Nugent Hopkins, Mark Giordano, and we used to do a bunch of events together. All the athletes, they'd get us together, and met Bo a couple of years ago, and we were similar-ish age. I got him by a few, but he's got a wife, young kids, same as myself, and we ended up just chatting one night at a dinner, and he said, "Oh, I live out in Chestermere." I said, "Oh, so do I." And then we found out it was, we live about a 7-iron away from each other. 7-iron for him, probably like a 5-iron for me.
Right.
So he loves to play golf. And then last year with the seasons getting shut down, we played a lot of golf together, trained together when the gyms were shut down. And just became buddies. And then, somehow someone got word that we were friends and wanted to do a podcast for this Uninterrupted Canada out of Toronto. They called us. We've been doing a little podcast for them, getting some good athletes on the show and shooting the breeze. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, it's funny, though. It's the Bo and Benny show. They wouldn't have given you guys a show if they didn't know how opinionated and outspoken you both are. You got the camera on him? He's smiling just as I said. You sent me a link to your show the other day. I already knew what you guys have been doing. I don't want to hear these interviews with the other people. I want to hear what you two have to say.
Well, we do have strong opinions, but I also, my favorite thing about talking to other athletes, whether it be Bo or other athletes you meet, I like to hear what they have to say.
True.
So for me, I have my strong opinions. I know what I think. I like hearing these other stories of other athletes, how they got to where they've got to. And, we've been really fortunate over our, 9 or 10 shows that we've done. We've had some amazing guests. I've got to chat to people I never thought I'd be able to talk to. So, Doug Flutie came on the show. He was like my childhood hero of the CFL, right? Football. And Kyle Lowry came on. We got to chat to him. Milos, Penny, a lot of stuff around the Olympics. It's been a lot of fun. So, no, it's been good. I don't know where it's going to go. I have no idea, to be honest with you. Bo getting busy with football and obviously my curling firing up. So we'll see, but we got a few more shows in the tank.
Well, good for you. It's the Benny and Bo show. And so further to that, you kind of hinted when you strolled in here, Ric Flair style this morning, took your shades off, that you knew Bo was going to be playing this week. I got that sense that you knew that.
Yeah, I just knew because I talked to him last night. I wasn't, I wasn't going to Twitter with it or anything like that. But I saw him last night, and he said his leg was feeling good, and he's excited to get back out there. And obviously, they've been struggling a little bit, so I know he wants to get back in there. And I saw an interview he did yesterday. Actually, he said, and I agree. I've been watching their backup there, Jake the Snake. He's been looking pretty good. He's playing some good football.
And I'm obviously going to ask you about Bo. And you had said on the phone the other day that if circumstances were a little different, maybe he'd have been sitting down here on this show today. But as a curler, you're a professional athlete, right? You're not amateur status anymore, right?
Well, I think we're amateur in the sport world, but I think as far as the curling world goes, if you look at the top teams, we would certainly be one of the top pro teams for sure.
But we're
classified as an amateur sport.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Well, we're in the Olympic Games.
Yeah, but so are NHL players.
They're the only ones.
Right. Fair.
Right.
I guess can I say it's a gray area then? I don't know. And my point is, Bo goes on the 6-game injured list with a broken leg, and I thought it was dangling from his knee. Like, oh my God. 3 weeks later, he's playing, or 4. And then you got Carson Wentz in Indy, for instance, who had a foot injury in training camp. And they say 12 weeks, he's gone. He's starting this week. So is it miraculous recovery for what you guys have available to you now, or just fake news in the media?
No, I don't know. I know Bo had a broken leg for sure. It was funny. After they lost their first game, we all went to his first game here against Toronto. He looked great their first few drives. Threw 2 touchdowns. There was a PI
on a broken leg.
No,
he was healthy then?
He broke it
in that game.
Series after that. And, then things went a bit squirrely for the Stamps that game. But we actually had to shoot our pod the very next day. So we wheeled into my basement where we have it, and he was limping hard. And I was like, dude, he goes, oh, man, my calf. They did an MRI. They did an X-ray, but it was so swollen they couldn't see the bone. So he thought he just had a sore calf, and do it out. All those guys play on massive pain, man. Hockey, the movies of the program, and all these football movies where guys get shot up to play. I don't think that's a rumor. Like, guys are tough.
They're admitting it now. Exactly.
Guys want to play, man, and so he tried it out, and I think he wouldn't come back this time. I don't think he was healthy. I think he understands that his health is probably more important than coming back, and and not playing good, playing at 50% or 40% on a broken leg. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch him play, and I hope he does well.
But here's the thing. We've got Stampeders fans writing into the show, Benny, and they're saying the Stamps' problems aren't at the quarterback position. Is Bo a guy that, with him leading them onto the field and commanding the huddle, that everybody gets inspired? Like, why is it so important to have him come back, which seems a little early?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you look at any sport team, to have your leader there, your captain, Steve Yzerman or whoever it may be, Wayne Gretzky, just having that presence in the room. And that's who Bo Levi Mitchell is for the Stampeders. He's been that guy for years. And so I think having that confidence, like you say, to get that swagger out there, he's one guy that can bring that. Not everybody can bring that. There's a lot of guys that you go out there and do their job, and there's guys that do extra things. And, he's one of the guys that does that extra stuff for the Stamps. And I think they need that right now. They're struggling. And they're going to go and play look to me last week like a pretty good Edmonton team. So we'll see what happens.
398 yards for Trevor Harrison here in the Labor Day Classic and 4 touchdowns. And before we move on and talk about some other thing, you are of the belief that Bo Levi Mitchell gets a bad rap from his critics, personally or professionally?
Well, professionally, no. I think that how does he get a bad rap?
You can't.
He just got named the best QB of the decade,
yes,
I saw.
Of course. I voted for him, by the way.
That's a pretty good rap. I mean, he earned it. But, I mean, I never got to see him play last year. Like, we spent a year being buds, getting to know him behind the scenes, running this podcast stuff before I ever got to see him on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know Bo more off the field, hanging out with his wife and, being a good husband and raising his 2 daughters and being a dad. I see, obviously, when me and him are golfing, the competitive side and the American cocky swagger that comes out. But, hey, guess what? I love that. I like that. That's how I am, too. So it's kind of why we're buddies. It jives well. It's good stuff.
But I don't know if I'm saying you're being humble or you're hiding some things, but on the phone the other day, you said to me, if you want to say he's a jerk on the field, fine, he probably is. But off the field, he's the best guy in the world. But I wouldn't know that.
Well,
I've never met the guy.
I think anybody that gets to that level of their sport, I don't care if it's Bo being the best quarterback in the CFL or NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, all those guys have a different, mindset or something about them of the way they need to be on the field. The way they need. Look at you watch the Michael Jordan documentary?
Twice.
Yeah, dude. Well, how do you think Michael Jordan was? So when you watch that stuff, people are like, oh, bad rap. I'm like, guys, that's the winning mentality.
The winners
that's how winners do it. And that's what you do. And I don't see a lot of guys that do it without it. Look at Tom Brady. Did you watch that game last night?
Of course.
He's ridiculous.
It's the only time I cheer against him because I'm a Dallas fan.
God.
No, I'm a Dallas fan.
I know, but he's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. He's just giving all of us older athletes hope that we can just continue to play at a high level forever. So I do like that. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. And yeah, anyways, he's like that as well. And I think that's what you need. So yeah, off the field, I'm sure all those guys are great guys.
So do you envision a day that Bo Levi Mitchell comes on this show?
On your show?
Yeah.
I don't know. He told me, he said, Rod just uses my name for clicks because he knows my name's bigger than his. That's kind
he
of
said that.
Oh, yeah, that.
Does he believe it?
Absolutely. Well, you believe it too, so you have to believe it, right? But I mean, if he sat in here and we were talking about sports, he's a good dude. I know obviously you were covering the Riders, dominating the West for 10 years with the Stamps. There was a rivalry there, so obviously there's going to be some natural hatred. But I mean, I only know him from not being a Stamp hater or Rider hater is the normal dude. He's like any other athlete I've met, really good person.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
That's right.
So what's the curling scene for you and your team, Cooey?
Yeah, well, we fire up here in 2 weeks, our first event in Okotoks. So obviously big event, big year for us, Olympic trials in Saskatoon at the end of November. So everything just kind of leading up to then. We're playing Swift Current, Penticton, couple Grand Slams, one in Oakville, Ontario, one in my hometown here, Chestermere, Alberta. Just outside of Calgary, so that's going to be sweet. So we'll have a lot of little hometown action there. And then big event in November. Hopefully we can peak at the right time and play great that week in Saskatoon at what's it called? The SaskTel Center now? They changed the name, eh? So we're there for a week and round robin, winner take all. My guess is probably 4 or 5, maybe long shot, 6 teams have a chance to win. The men's side's really deep, very deep. So whoever gets hot for a week, head off to China for the Olympics in February. Hope it can be us, but we'll have to play great, get a bunch of breaks, and see how it goes.
That's the big one. But you told me once that you love those cash spiels, the big ones in Saskatchewan, because you guys are rock stars when you go into Yorkton or wherever, right? And stuff. But Calgary, is it an underrated curling city? And I ask because the bubble, all the big events were here last year.
Yeah, I don't know if that was because of a lot of curling fans here, or more just the
coincidence
that we were able to swing it here in Alberta. But yeah, Calgary is just an amazing sports city, dude. Like actually, Labor Day we went last week. It was awesome, great vibe at McMahon.
Great weather.
Yeah, been lots of Flames games here, and and anytime we've had a Brier or a big curling event here, fans have been amazing. So I love Calgary as a sports city. I'm not going to say it's as good as Saskatchewan. I still think the best sport fans in the country come from Saskatchewan, being from there, and obviously, being able to go to Rider games. And I think that you'll see that at the Olympic trials of Saskatoon. Hopefully, we get all this COVID nonsense under control and figure out how fans can be at the games. And I think if that happens, you'll see a full barn at the SaskTel.
I was going to say they'll fill the barn. There's no doubt for that. So you're coming back. Tell me about this next week for your role. Can you spill
I'm
that?
Excited, actually. Yeah. Curling Canada and Tourism Saskatchewan just asked. I think I'm the only Saskatchewan player in the trials as of now. Obviously, Dunstone has a good chance to get in. They got to go through some qualification still. They haven't got in yet, but they'll be on the bubble. But as of now, there's only 5 men's teams in, and me being from Saskatchewan, they just asked me to come in, and I'm going to go to the Rider game next Friday, which I'm pumped about. Best stadium, the only NFL stadium in Canada, I like to say. So I'm going to go to that and just kind of help promote the Olympic trials up. What is it, Highway 2? No,
11.
Yeah, Highway 2 is Edmonton, Calgary. See, that's how long I've been here.
That's right.
Highway 11 up to Saskatoon, and try and get as many people just kind of aware the Olympic trials are coming, and the best curlers in Canada for a spot at the Olympics. So I'm going to go to the game and see my cousins and my brother, take my brother to the game, and have a few beers and cheer on the Riders. Should be a good one.
Well, it's Thunder Hilltops weekend too, right? As you say. So.
Oh yeah, my brother-in-law Isaac Ford. I got to give him a shout out. 4 touchdowns the first couple games. I never get to see him play because I'm here and they're there. But so I'm going to go watch Thunder Hilltops and be a good alumni on Saturday night as well. So Rider game Friday, Thunder game Saturday, and then I got a Beetle home Sunday morning.
Well, and one more time, there's your plug for the curling trials at the SaskTel Center coming up in November. Tickets on sale now. They must be, huh?
You betcha. Yeah. Head to the Curling Canada website. Check out the tickets. Bring out the pom-poms. It's going to be a good show. Should be some great action for sure.
Just one more. When you guys were trying to find a way to curl last year, when COVID was somewhat early on, and we're like, well, this should be a sport that lends itself to social distancing, you would think, right? There was talk of an outdoor event at Mosaic Stadium. Could you imagine if the weather had...
If the weather cooperated, it'd be amazing.
Right.
I'd still love to play it. I know they've done it. I know... I think Gushu went over to an event in Russia. They did an outdoor event. I think they've kind of done like 1-sheeters, but if there was ever a big one where we could do a cash event, the thing is it's so weather dependent. No different than the outdoor classic. Look what happens at those outdoor classics when it's hot and the ice melts. It's a disaster. It'd be no different in the curling, except we wouldn't be able to get the rock down to the other end of the ice. So we'll see.
Or the other way, minus 47 and your beer's freezing.
Yeah, then we're definitely not playing. I'm going for that one. That's how you blow a hammy quick.
Yeah. See? Finely tuned athlete right here.
That's how you get hurt real quick.
Ben, a plug, if you don't mind, for Benny and Bo, the podcast. It's going great, eh?
Yeah, it's going awesome. If you guys want to check it out, me and Bo Levi Mitchell have been talking to some great athletes across Canada just about kind of, fun stuff, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of seriousness, talk about their journeys and how they got to where they got to. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Brought to you by Uninterrupted Canada, a company owned by LeBron James and Drake. So I like to pretend like LeBron and Drake are my bosses, although I've never met them. They don't know who I am, but I work for their company.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's right.
All right. Say hey to Bo for me, and please tell him good luck this weekend.
We'll see what happens.
I appreciate you coming down. Good job.
Ready. Thanks a lot, man.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC. Unwrap a completely customized vehicle ordering experience. Reserve a pre-ordered unit that's already on its way. Or get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on the lot and ready to roll. And don't forget, we pay big for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from us. Plus, our service department is your winter headquarters. Get special pricing on name brand tires, storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. This holiday season, wish your way at Capital GMC.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445 or log on to deervalleygolf.ca.
A Landmark Cinemas $30 gift card with $40 in great movie savings is the perfect gift to give, or give to yourself. Get yours today in theater or online at landmarkcinemas.com and make it a merry movie season. Landmark Cinemas, for movie lovers.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com. All right, welcome back to what's typically the overtime and taco time viewer takeover. Darren DuPont here with you from Wynyard. I didn't mention this off the top, but this is the Wynyard Composite High School. We've been here at times throughout the Christmas break as I'm home for the holidays, but sneaking away to get some time with you here on our Best of the Year shows. This is where I went to high school. So thank you to everybody at WCHS for, the hospitality. The internet's been awesome, real good. And everybody for tuning in. It's been a wonderful year. Today's been a wonderful show, looking back at all the moments on the road, from going to Saskatoon and connecting with Mike Babcock, to being in Montreal with Bob Merrier in the Stanley Cup Finals, to being on a pirate ship at the West Edmonton Mall with Andrew Walker and the folks there in Edmonton, and going to the Oilers home opener. It's just a really special year. And I look ahead to what's coming in 2022. A lot of uncertainty, right? Uncertainty about road shows. Will we be able to travel as much? It seemed like in 2021, the doors were opening a little bit in terms of getting on the road and being allowed to travel and do a few different things. Are we going to go the other way and travel will be restricted a little bit? I don't know. But here's hoping we're going to be able to get out to communities near you and have a lot of fun in 2022. Highlights for me from 2021. Probably, Montreal was a really cool experience. That was probably up near the top of highlights in 2021. For me, the pirate ship was really cool. Personally, getting to go to BC and spend some time with Trinity Western and everybody over there, including Barrett Croft, who was just a fantastic host. That was really cool to really spend some time there. And it's kind of been a little bit of a motivator into 2022, I guess you could say. A lot of good lessons learned through that. And then for you, the fans, we love connecting with you on the text line 902-518-3033, 333. Send us your texts over the holidays and what you'd like to see in 2022 from the Rod Pedersen Show. Because we'll be back on Tuesday with full live shows. I know Rod will be back from his vacation, so looking forward to all of that. And then early in January, we're going to be in Calgary. So again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a very early Happy New Year. I know we're going to talk to you in the new year on that. So much coming, including the stretch run in the National Hockey League. We talked earlier about Alexander Ovechkin. Is he going to get to 50 goals this year? It's on pace for more than that. Who will win the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, all of that. It's going to be so much fun. But thanks for being with us today. And we will see you next time here on the Rod Pedersen Show. YouTube, Game Plus, and wherever you get your podcasts. See you, Canada.
That doesn't really blow my skirt up or peel my banana.